All right, good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Irish Hills of Michigan here. Race number 5 from the Trinity Racing League, once again on a Monday night. I am Tom Richter, and I am joined up here tonight by a new co-host hanging out with me for the next 100 laps as these drivers get set to go racing. Good evening, Chris Rose. How are you tonight?
How you doing, Tom? Thanks for having me on the broadcast. It's going to be real fun tonight. It's going to be a real high-speed track. I love this track. I love watching it. It's going to be fun to talk about as well.
It certainly is. Drivers getting set for race number 5. Last week's winner, Brandon Gass, looking to become the first repeat winner on the season out here tonight. He is currently top of the speed charts through opening practice. Got just over 3 minutes remaining in the Michigan Freeze 200. Currently following some of these drivers here in their closing laps of practice. Chris, we kind of come to Michigan, and we were talking with Race Control about this a little bit ago. Michigan is kind of a place that is a great unknown, and a lot of draft and a lot of tire wear comes into effect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're running the high line on, for example, in turn 1, if you run the high line a bunch, it's going to be a lot of wear on that rear right. We're going to see a lot of drivers doing a lot of what the 29 is doing right now. It might be a little bit difficult on that rear right.
Yeah, absolutely. We have already heard that fuel is going to be about 60 laps out here tonight. So if this race runs green, we're looking at a one-stop race in terms of fuel management out here. But we get set to close out practice here in a few minutes. Chris, four races, 4 different winners for the Trinity Racing League. Chris Stitz, Jarrett Talmadge, Vincent Sora, and last week's winner at the Red Bull Ring, Brandon Gass. What do you think our chances are of seeing either our first-time winner tonight?
Well, I mean, Brandon's looking good out here in practice. He might have to come up here for another repeat, but we've also seen Clint Cox has been doing good in practice, as well as Noah Steele. So maybe the top 3, those are the 3 that I'm really going to put my chances on. I haven't really seen a lot of these drivers drive, but seeing it through practice, those top 3 are looking good.
They certainly are, as following Thomas Green around here, 8th on the board with practice winding down out here. Thomas Green has currently run 32 laps in practice, so making use of this hour-long practice session. For driver number 3 comes in here tonight, 7th in the points. Got just 1 top 10 on the season so far, if my memory serves me correctly. I want to say that was back at Echo Park Speedway in the opening race of the season. We'll see if Thomas Green is able to pick up another top 10 or a top 5. But the points leader here tonight, Chris, Jarrett Talmadge, 6th on the board.
Coming out here in 6th, he's still looking good in the top 10. That's a good, solid spot to be. Might not want to be all the way up front. Might not want to be too far back. Might have a good strategy to go into the race with as well.
Yeah, Jared.
Look at Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, we call it the meme machine out here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network. Jared picked up the win at Kansas a couple of weeks ago, and
he's got Freak Bob on the hood.
Win number 2 of the season. Other drivers looking to get their name in winner's circle out here tonight. Isaac Shelley came so close last week. I want to say Isaac finished 2nd last week, just 1 spot short of the winner spot last week. Christopher Norris is another name that has not found victory lane just yet, but he is no stranger to the podium, and we'll see if he's able to do the same here as we have about 30 seconds remaining in opening practice.
Looks like Norris is over there self-sponsoring the car too. I might have to check out his photos. Yeah,
Chris is always promoting that, and for good reason. He's trying to support himself. Larry Yingling out here tonight in the 67 Ford Mustang. It's going to get sideways on the exit of turn number 2 here. Drivers have about 15 seconds remaining in practice. Brandon Gass, Clint Cox, Noah Steele going to be the fastest 3 in opening practice. How's everybody doing? Who you guys rooting for? Who you want to see do well out here tonight? Give us a name out in chat. We'll follow their race all evening long. Thanks for spending a Monday night with us once again. All right, so the checkered flag, Barney's going to signify the end of practice here, and we're about to see who lines up first on pit road for our qualifying session out here. Driver's going to have 2 laps to do this here. Chris, how do you like to qualify around here? You like the outside? You like the inside? You like the middle line? What do you like here?
I like running the top of 1 and 2 and then bottom of 3 and 4. That's what I really feel like gives me the most speed around here. Yeah, I'm pretty confident with my qualifying runs here, so hopefully we're going to see a lot of drivers doing that.
First
Maybe
drive.
bottom as well.
Well, we'll see if lap 1 or lap 2 is the lap that posts the fastest time out here. One of the first cars to roll out on pit road as more cars make their way out. Josh Kanata in the number 16 Toyota Supra. Going to be rolling out, as well as Joshua Sawyer, Ben Kinney, Nick Renner, Scott Rickard, Aaron Krolick, and more drivers beginning to take their time. We'll follow along here with Josh Kanata here for his first lap and see where he's able to put that 16. He's going to go right up to the wall in turns 3 and 4.
Yep, looks like he's getting that run up to get some speed off for that first lap. That's what I like to do as well.
Carries that speed, that momentum as much as he possibly can down the front straightaway here, and looks like he's going to elect to stay in the top line on lap number 1 for the 16. We're going to flip around here throughout qualifying and try to compare lines out here.
You know, the top line is also pretty good for warming up the 2 right side tires. If your first lap isn't too fast, you can end up running bottom on the second lap with those warmer tires. It kind of helps.
See, the car starts to dance a little bit in 3 and 4, and that's those cold tires there as he's able to make his way out of turn 4. And we'll see what the first time by for the 16 is going to put him. At the top of the board right now, waiting for more times to come in. Josh Kanata, Ben Kinney, Joshua Sawyer, Nick Renner. New name at the top of the board. That's going to be Scott Rickard as Scott completes his first lap. Let's jump on over to Ben Kinney in the 51. Third on his first lap. See where he's able to put that 51 on lap number 2.
Got a nice scheme on that 51 there. M&M's. Haven't seen one of those in a bit.
Ben working his second lap out here. First time by, good enough for 4th, as we currently have 7 times. Make it 8 times on the speed charts right now. See if Ben's able to improve on his second lap. Second lap for Josh Kanata goes to the top of the board. Ben Kinney is going to hold in 4th place as Chris Stamper makes his name up at the top of the board, but so does Larry Yingling, the new provisional pole sitter, who is replaced quickly by Noah Steele.
Noah Steele looking good out there up front. Got only a little bit of time on Larry Yingling, but still looking real good. Only a 0.02 gap. That's crazy.
Yeah, working lap 2 here for Noah. We'll see what he's able to do. If he's able to protect that, only 2/100ths of a second better than Larry. Going to get loose in 3 and 4, and that's going to be a throwaway lap for driver number 8. As more names start to come in, Clint Cox is in 4th. Cedric Hunter moves up to 3rd. Ryan Bird in the 49. Good enough for 7th, his first time by. See if he's able to improve lap number 2 here for the 49.
It's coming into 3 and 4 looking, or is that 1 and 2? No, that's 3 and 4. It's looking real good.
Already, you can see these drivers getting loose already through 3 and 4 just on their qualifying runs. And once you get some air around these cars with other drivers, that is going to be a handful for these drivers. Isaac Shelley, one of the fast drivers last week out in Austria. One of our podium finishers. Currently 17th his first time by. Looks like we currently have 26 drivers who have already taken a time. A couple of more drivers working on their qualifying laps out here as qualifying begins to wind down here. Just under a minute remaining. Thomas Green at the top of the board now over Noah Steele. Second time by for Isaac Shelley, going to be good enough for 7th. Justin Campbell's going to complete his first lap and begin his second lap out here in that black unsponsored Toyota Supra. We need to get him a sponsor.
Oh yeah, he's self-funded out there tonight. He's self-funded. That's his own car. He brought from his own garage. He brought it out to the track.
Absolutely. You know, Chris, I tell you what, passing here at Michigan is probably more difficult maybe than any other track we go to, because you can use the bottom line for a while, but once the tires start to wear, passing on the inside line is almost impossible. So a good qualifying position going to be important for Justin Campbell. He's going to pick up good enough for 12th on lap number 2.
You know, here is a lot like Auto Club when it comes to that point that you were going off the passing. The bottom line definitely does use up a ton of tire. It's honestly I like to compare those two tracks like pretty much 1-1.
Driver's given a 5-minute warm-up out here, and we're gonna see if we can't find. Let's see. I see a couple of requests out there in our YouTube chat. Let us know who you're rooting for. We're gonna see if we can grab Josh here in a moment and talk with him during the warm-up that these drivers have. Let's see. Hey Josh, how you doing? It's Tom and Chris down here in the booth. Good evening.
Hi, what's going on, brother?
What's up? We got a couple of fans out in our Cyber Thunder broadcast network asking and begging and sending super chats for a Josh Stovall pre-race interview. So we're gonna do just that. Hey, here, Josh, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. I feel like tonight's going to be a good race. I'm kind of starting mid-pack, so that kind of makes me a little nervous being around all the chaos. But I do believe that we can sit here and work our way forward. Try to save that right rear tire a little bit because during practice I noticed you can wear it out pretty quick. But yeah, just kind of be patient. Something I'm not very good at, and methodically work our way through the field.
Yeah, we'll see how you guys are able to do that. We've already kind of heard that this is going to be a one-stop strategy out here tonight. You think anybody may be thinking of 2 and going for those tires under a green flag run?
Under a green flag run? I don't know. Honestly, I couldn't even begin to tell you. I don't know how much fall-off's going to play into it. I mean, I know that gas is going to be one stop, but that's a good judgment call. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't even have the answer for that.
All right, well, last week at the Red Bull Ring, Josh, to breathe a little bit of reality here, you finished 21st. Hopefully we get to see you do a little bit better this week than last week. Good luck to you tonight, Josh.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Not the biggest fan of turning right, but we're turning left today, so let's have fun.
All right, good luck to you, and maybe we'll get to talk to you after tonight's race. Drivers have just about 2.5 minutes out in opening practice here. As that happens, we're going to step aside, do the pre-race ceremonies, and we'll be back for the grid. All right, back out here, just about a minute remaining in driver warm-up out here tonight. While we wait for the grid to get set out here tonight, going to give a shout out to the poll sponsor out here. That is Blazing Fast TV, the poll sponsor, grid sponsor. Hey, if you're looking for a chill, relaxed stream, head on over to Blazing Fast TV on Twitch and YouTube to see live point of views from Dakota Moniz as he races. Drop a follow, subscribe to stay up to date when he goes live, and post content all on Blazing Fast TV. Certainly do appreciate drivers allowing us to come over here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network as the clock starts to wind down out here. About 20 seconds left here in open warm-up.
Mike Miller and Cody Reed looking real good out here after a warm-up. We're able to put down some real solid times.
Yeah, drivers taking these 5 minutes here probably just to run a couple more laps, maybe try to come down, practice their pit entry. Only 6 drivers took times in this 5-minute window out here. But that's going to about do it for the warm-up here, and it's about time we get set to go racing here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network on a Monday night. We're going to grab the starting lineup for tonight's race and get us on our way out here tonight for race number 5 of the season for the Michigan Freeze 200 out here tonight. Starting first on the board, going to be Thomas Green in the 57. Second place going to be Noah Steele in that number 8. Ryan Kelly starts third in car number 13. Jarrett Talmadge, the points leader coming into tonight, is going to start fourth, with the top 5 rounded out by Larry Yingling in the 67. Chris Stitz going to be starting in 6th out here tonight. Nolan Hicks is good enough for 7th. 8th place belongs to Isaac Shelley. 9th and 10th place belongs to Mike Miller and Christopher Norris.
And we got Brandon Gass out here in the 29. We got Justin T. Campbell right behind him in the Toyota Supra, the number 2. Cedric Hunter behind him in the number 7 Toyota Supra. George Finesca in the 24 Chevy. Clint Cox after him in the 03 Ford. Chris Stamper after that in the 53 Ford. Ryan Bird and Joshua Stovall both in Chevys. Number 49 for Ryan Bird and number 1 for Josh Stovall. The number 19, in the 19th spot, we got Samuel S. Garcia in the 50 car and Cody Reed in rounding out the top 20 in the number 25.
21st place is good enough for Josh Kanata out here. 22nd, row number 11, belongs to Scott Rickard. Aaron Krolick in the 01 rolls off 23rd out here with Stephen Clapp to his outside. Ben Kinney rounds out our top 25 as they run in qualifying. Nick Renner rolls off from 26th out here tonight with Thomas Walter in 27th. Joshua Sawyer starts 28th. Mark Labertone in 29th. And Dakota Moniz, our grid sponsor out here tonight, starts 30th.
Then we got Justin Smith behind him in 31st, Sam Dreyer for 32nd, and then Jesse Thornock for 33rd.
33 drivers getting set to do battle in the Irish Hills of Michigan. 4 drivers electing not to take a time. That is Dakota Moniz, Justin Smith, Sam Dyer, and Jesse Thornock. We'll see how these drivers are able to manage their tires and make the passes as we wait for the iRacing.com pace car to begin rolling off a pit road here, and we are almost ready to go racing for 100 laps at Michigan. Chris, the last time that we saw a track anything sort of similar to this was back at Kansas Speedway, and some may argue successfully that Kansas is very different than Michigan. The first time we're coming to a 2-mile D oval out here this season. We'll see what challenges it brings for these drivers.
You know, I kind of like to think of Kansas as kind of like a mini Michigan, so I wouldn't say you're too far off with saying they're similar tracks, to be honest.
Yeah, both very high-powered, high momentum, and the high line as the defensive line. But lights are off on top of the iRacing.com pace car. It's about time that we get racing here on a Monday night. Thanks so much for joining us once again. Thomas Green, Jarrett Talmadge going to be giving us the green flag here in just a moment.
Gonna watch all these drivers get ready to hit that loud pedal when the green flag drops. Looks like some people are warming up the tires in the back.
As is the usual out here tonight, no stages scheduled in this race. 100 laps in front of these drivers. Pace car going to be down and out of the way, and Barney's got that flag high up in the air, and we're going to get set for the green flag out here tonight. Thomas Green, Jarrett Talmadge see the green flag for the first time out here tonight. Issues on the start. A couple of drivers getting into each other towards the back of the field here.
Yeah, big issues in the back of the pack. Looked like it was Jesse Thornock mixed up with a few other people as well.
Yeah, it looks like Jesse got involved. Possibly Noah Steele may have had a moment there. We're going to follow the battle for the race lead here real quick. Let that settle down, then we're going to come back to a replay of that start there, but an unfortunate start to the race for a couple of drivers. Jarrett Talmadge up on the outside, Thomas Green on the inside. How they started is how they run the first time into turn 3.
Yeah, they got a little bit of they got very close, almost some contact in the mid corner. Looks like Talmadge was able to fend the three off for a bit. Now they're in a 3-wide battle going into turn 1.
Ryan Kelly on the inside of Chris Stitz, going to look to take second place, up 4 spots already for the number 17, looking for one more, looking to protect one more as we got a 3-wide situation. Directly behind, Isaac Shelley in the middle, Ryan Kelly up on the inside, and is that Larry Yingling stuck up on the outside? Is Isaac Shelley going to slot back in to a 4th place running position? This battle heats up for 5th.
Yeah, they almost went 4 wide off of 2 there before they were able to slot up and keep that in order. It looks like it's going to be a real fun race.
Absolutely, that's how this race is going to go all evening long. Opened through the opening laps, Jarrett Talmadge has extended about a 4/10 of a second lead over second place Chris Stitz, one of the bigger movers out here tonight in second right now for that number 17. Thomas Green coming back on the 17, trying to maybe take a spot there. Not able to do it just yet. Gonna have to wait at least one more set of corners. Battle is starting to heat up for 4th place as Larry Yingling takes a look down to the inside of the 98 of Shelley.
Thomas Green was looking like he really wanted to make his way back up to the front after that first little incident we saw. He looks like he's hard charging.
Yeah, absolutely. Some cars definitely charging hard out here tonight. Now that this race is sort of settled out a little bit, we're going to take the opportunity. We're going to come down, take a look at this replay, and see if we can't find out exactly what happens here. So something happens towards the back of the field here. A replay of the initial start of the race. See Christopher Norris, Sam Garcia, Jesse Thornock back here, and oh my gosh, the
inside line just checked up.
The 6 of Justin Smith is absolutely just going to get pile driven on the start here, on board with the 6 of Justin.
Oh yeah, it just looks like a big checkup.
That's one of those things, Chris, that your night is over before it even has an opportunity to begin, and you can see the damage back on a live camera here of Justin Smith. Christopher Norris also on pit road with some severe damage on that 38, a real contender week in and week out here on the
I couldn't imagine
race.
the frustration from those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly not how you want your night to go. Last week finished 3rd out in Red Bull for Christopher Norris. Not going to be the case here tonight, but we continue on working lap number 6 of 100, and Chris Stitz putting some heat on Thomas Green.
Looks like Thomas Green was able to take that spot from Chris Stitz, but yeah, Chris Stitz is coming back looking like to try to take that place back, but now he's under fire from Larry Yingling down the backstretch in that number 6-7.
Trying to pull some draft down here on the backstretch of that Chevy Camaro directly in front of him, trying to use as much as he possibly can. But into turn number 3, got 3 very different lines. Thomas Green, Larry Yingling, and Chris Stitz as they run right now. Up front, Jarrett Talmadge has stepped away. Now, still about by 4/10 of a second as we're going to slot back a little bit more, find some more battles happening out on the track. This is a battle for about the 11th place position, being led by Josh Stovall. Got Cedric Hunter and Brandon Gass, last week's winner, all up in this mix.
That looks like a real mess right there, but it looks like it's some close race, and the 25 is getting there real close to the 53. They're having a real drag. Oh my gosh, a drag race down the backstretch.
Yeah, Cody Reed trying to put the dirty air on the side of the 53. Chris Stamper, one of the biggest movers out here tonight, up 5 positions from his qualifying run. Chris Stamper, Cody Reed up 9 positions. They're going to continue this battle down the front stretch here with Cody Reed not giving up just yet. They got Josh Stovall waiting in the wings here to see if he can grab a 2-for-1 down in turn 1.
You could really see the speed difference between them along the front stretch right there. The one was really not really trying, but he was really had a lot of speed there catching them too.
He certainly did. They're going to single file out on the backstretch as maybe Clint Cox going to take a step out on the 88 of Nick Renner and take that position. Thomas Green here has caught the back of the 27 over the last lap or two here, and now that 4/10 of a second gap that we had for the lead is now under a 1/10 of a second.
I'm telling you, Thomas is real hard charging. He's right back up there. Look at him pushing him to 27 to turn 1, right in the spot where he wants to be. He's going to take that high line, see if he can capitalize on that tire before it gets too worn. Looks like he's going to get pretty alongside They might be able to sort it out here. Look at this battle. Look at that speed that the 3 has.
The momentum for Thomas Green on the backstretch carries the power down the backstretch on the outside of the 27. He's got a little bit of help from his friend Larry Yingling. In third place, Thomas Green going to cut across the nose of the 27 of Talmadge and clear for the race lead. And now a battle for second. Jared Talmadge may lose 2 spots here in 1 lap.
They got really close there in turn 3 and 4. I had to hold my breath, but look at this 3-wide battle going into turn 1.
3 wides quickly settles back out to a 2-wide battle down to turn number 1. Thomas Green up on the outside. Larry Yingling on the inside, looking to make the difficult happen on the inside as we have 10 laps on these tires. He's going to be side by side with him on the backstretch. Quickly falls back behind the 3 and in front of the 27. Chris, you know, when drivers try to make a pass on the bottom here, it's very easy to lose multiple spots here. So Larry was able to make the pass for second and then slide up into an open spot here, and that allows a little bit of separation for him to make his next move for the lead.
Looks like he's going back down to that inside line. We were just talking about how hard it is to pass down there, but it looks like he's trying to make the move. I'm not sure he's going to be able to clear the 3. Looks like the 3 has a lot of momentum in turn 1, but he definitely wants to keep that line coming out of the turn.
Side by side out of turn number 2, not going to be able to make that power down like the 3 of Thomas Green is. Thomas Green, Larry Yingling, both would be first-time winners out here tonight. Both trying to give us 5 different winners in the first 5 races of
big wiggle from the 3.
Yeah, you can start to see these cars start to move around a whole lot, and that's going to start to bring the field a little bit closer. The 2-car battle is going to quickly become a 5-car battle if they continue to race like this, but clean air is so important, it may just be worth taking that risk.
Oh, the 3's getting real loose on the top line right there. He's definitely feeling the rear right fall off. Definitely.
Yeah, Thomas Green going to lose a spot to Larry Yingling, who now takes the point in tonight's race. 12 laps in, Jared Talmadge, previous race leader out here tonight, he's going to take a look down onto the inside of the 3 and try to take that spot, and he very well may just do that. By the time they exit turn number 4, Jared Talmadge back up to second. Chris Stitt says, I want a spot as well.
You know, I really think the 67 and the 27 knew what they were doing there, keeping the 3 on the high line, because they know that that bottom line isn't really going to wear the tires as bad as that top line. It definitely will later in the race, but right now, the top line is definitely the killer on that rear right.
On board with Isaac Shelley, see what he sees going down the backstretch here. Last week's second place finisher at the Red Bull Ring, just 1 spot short of what could have been for the 98. It's going to take a look down to the inside of the 17 here. This is a difficult spot to be in here, Chris, because you come off the corners and you need the entire corner exit to make the pass successfully, and it's very easy to kind of slide up into the inside door of the car up on your outside.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've done it multiple times. But it looks like he's able to make it stick down there. He's not really sliding up. He might here. Oh, very close, but I think he'll probably slide up right behind him here.
Yeah, he's got a lot of breathing room here. You got to go back about 0.6 of a second before you find the 6th place runner Ryan Kelly, Ollie Fonseca in 7th in the 24. So he's got a little bit of breathing room here. This allows him to continue this battle. But Larry Yingling up front, he's stepped away just the tiniest of bits here, as it's now about a 1.5 of a second gap between first and second. The top 5 drivers have run away from here, but Ryan Kelly trying to come back into the conversation.
Yeah, it looks like that top 5 has run away by about 2 car lengths to the rest of the pack. They're looking really fast tonight. They're looking really racy. I think this could be anybody's race.
They come down into turn number 3 at upwards of 190 miles an hour. Look like 192 miles an hour for most of these drivers as they go into the low bank. Turn number 3 here at Michigan. Give another lap led to the 67 Ford Mustang of Larry Yingling. We'll jump back here. We're going to keep a very close eye on this battle here for the lead. Been following this battle here for the last lap or two. Cody Reed being chased down quickly by Cedric Hunter here. Cedric looking to take a top 12 running spot away.
Cedric Hunter in that bright pink Hello Kitty mobile, really chasing down the 25. They look like they're having a great battle right now. Oh, he might look to the inside here. Nah, they're just going to sort it out. Maybe just be patient. They got a lot of race left.
Battle up for the race lead. Jarrett Talmadge has taken a look to the inside of the 67. We step away from that to come back up to the race lead. Larry Yingling under fire from Jarrett Talmadge. Led some laps in the opening laps here in the Michigan Freeze 200 and looks to take the lead back here. I thought maybe there for a second, Chris, that maybe Jarrett maybe burned up a little bit of his tires or put himself in a bad spot, but he was able to find a spot to run in about third place. And now finds himself back up with clean air on that Camaro.
Yeah, he's looking real fast out here in the meme machine, man. Freak Bob on the hood is powering his car.
It certainly is. Larry Yingling says, you are not going to lead this race just yet. Larry's going to take a look back down to the inside. This is what makes Michigan great. 2-wide battle for the race lead, which may become a 3-wide battle. Thomas Green tries to take a look to the outside of the 27. Not going to happen just yet. Isaac Shelley hits the loud pedal on the outside of the corner.
The 3 got really loose into that corner on entry and mid corner. His tires are definitely looking worse than the rest of everybody's.
2x2x2. That's how they race down the backstretch with Larry Yingling on the inside, Jarrett Talmadge on the outside. We'll see how they settle out of turn number 4. Larry's going to slide up in front of the 27. Everybody's going to get loose coming off the banking of turn number 4. The lead is settled for right now, but not for long. Third place Thomas Green still hanging tough with this group, and Chris Stitz on the inside trying to make that inside work.
Chris Stitz is going to lose a little bit of time here, but he might be able to just slot back up right behind the 98 and just get right back into position. It's unfortunate that he got caught down there on that bottom line.
Yeah, it's so easy to do, and to lose the clean air on that car and have to make that corner a little bit shorter than what it needs to be. But Jarrett Talmadge now a reversed image of what we saw a lap or two ago. Jarrett Talmadge now on the inside of the 67. The 67 trying to pass or protect the race lead. Jarrett Talmadge looks like he's going to lead lap number 19 out here as we begin lap number 20 of 100.
Jarrett Talmadge still looking on the inside of Larry Yingling on the outside of on the exit of turn 2. They're going to be having a drag race down the backstretch still, side by side.
Nobody giving up just yet as Jarrett Talmadge takes the edge going into turn number 3. Larry Yingling going to be able to take second place away. He's going to come across the nose of the 3. And now, every lap it flips, Chris. Now we have the 67 on the inside of the 27 for, once again, a reversed image. Larry Yingling now on the attack, Jarrett Talmadge on the defense.
It really is flipping every lap. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's just some good racing going on right now. It's real good.
It really is. And these drivers all up inside the top 5 right now. Isaac Shelley up 5 positions. Thomas Green down a couple of positions from his qualifying effort out here tonight, but still running strong out here tonight as the battle for the lead still side by side with the 27-67 as it has been for the majority of the last couple of laps. Pardon me.
Was that Lucas?
No, my shovel just fell. We got about 16 inches of snow about a week ago. Haven't moved the shovel, but yeah, Jarrett Talmadge and Larry still battling hard up at the front. Third place belongs to Isaac Shelley over Thomas Green right now.
5th of this race has gone by, and the lead is still under close fire from everybody. Seems like everybody's just racing, being real racy tonight. So
here, Chris, you got to start to wonder, right? How much is these two drivers using up their tires here, battling for the race lead like this? Because every time you get down on the inside line, you're having to put more wheel into the car to try to make the car turn a little bit more. I got to think that it's using more tire here for the race leaders, even though they've got clean air, right? If I'm somebody like Chris Stitz or maybe even Isaac Shelley, maybe in the best spot here in a couple of laps, how much is this using their tires?
I definitely think that Shelley's in the best spot here, agreeing with your take. I think that the two battling up front, I still think that inside line may put a little bit less stress on the rear right, so maybe they'll be able to swap lines, go up to the top line, get a better exit of the corner. But it seems like they are definitely using up their tires a lot compared to the back 3, or sorry, after third down, you know?
Yeah, on board with Isaac Shelley right here. We'll stay on board with Isaac for a set of corners and listen to his throttle. See if we hear anything getting loose, but you see the battle happening directly in front of him. On the inside of the 98 is the 17, a battle for the lead and third place happening simultaneously.
These cars do look like they're starting to get tight in the top side of the corner, and we might see a lot of speed differential between them. A lot of different lines being taken.
Chris Stitt's able to take the position for third place away from the 98 of Isaac Shelley. There's battles happening all over the racetrack right now. Nolan Hicks, Clint Cox, Scott Rickard, Ryan Bird. Who else is battling out here? Josh Sawyer, Jesse Thornock. All these drivers battling, but we have been non-stop action up at the front of the field from tonight's race. A quarter of the way in, halfway to the bonus point that's going to be awarded at the conclusion of lap number 50. A bonus point awarded to the leader of lap number 50, which I'll take a bonus point any day of the week. So drivers know that that could be the difference between making the playoffs and sitting on the sidelines once we do get started here in about 7 or 8 weeks before they see their playoffs.
Yeah, bonus points do tell a crazy story sometimes. Bonus points definitely help out.
Jarrett Talmadge has taken the race lead from the 67 of Larry Yingling. This is, believe it or not, the biggest lead that we've seen in the last 10 laps or so between these two drivers. That gives us an opportunity to tell some other stories out here tonight. Ali Fonseca up on the move out here tonight in that bright yellow number 24 Chevy Camaro, up 7 spots from his starting position. Started 14th out here tonight, currently chases down Thomas Green as we have a yellow flag out on the track.
Yellow flag comes out. I know that's going to mix up a lot of strategies. We're about a quarter of the way into the race as well. I know there's going to be a lot of strategy going into these pit stops coming up.
All right, let's see who this might be for. I don't see anybody giving me a notification. Looks like maybe Chris Stamper here. So let's first do this, and then yeah, Chris Stamper's still sitting in the grass. We'll go back to a replay here of Chris. This is the exit of turn number 2 here, and see if we can't find out exactly what happens to Chris.
I'm wondering if the back end just got away from him.
All right, so yellow flag's already out here.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like the yellow's already out. Oh.
They were certainly slowing down like the yellow flag was out. Let's take a look here. We're waiting for cars to come on pit road. Once they do hit pit road, we're going to jump back live.
Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah.
That's going to be Nick Renner here. All right, so now we've got our spot here. This may have been the caution. Again, looking for drivers to come down onto pit road, and as soon as they do, we're going to get right to that. Through turns 3 and 4, Noah Steele on the back of Nick Renner here. Nick Renner getting sideways in front of the 8.
Looks like the 88 just lost it mid-corner, and looks it's got to be a product of that tire wear. Just lost it mid-corner. Dirty air. The car behind lifted up the rear end a little bit. He got sent around.
All right, as promised, drivers on pit road here being led down by Jarrett Talmadge on pit road for the first time out here. And yeah, Chris, you bring up an interesting point. We know that fuel's about 60 laps out here, right? By the time they go green flag race, and we're going to see about maybe lap number 30 here. I don't necessarily hate the option of coming back down here for fuel on the 1 to go, and then maybe taking a splash at the end. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I would always say depending on what the leader does, but really the splash would not hurt at all. I think we're going to see a lot of drivers doing that, to be honest, especially towards the back of the pack. They may decide to drop down pit road and get a splash to just be able to make it toward the end.
Jarrett Talmadge going to win the race off of pit road. Larry Yingling second, Chris Stitz third, Isaac Shelley fourth off of pit road. Thomas Green the top 5 as they come out of pit road. And while we're still underneath the yellow flag here, let's see if we can't grab another look or two with see if we can't grab another look or two here. We're going to try to find Noah Steele. So Noah's directly behind him here, and you can just see how sideways and loose the 88 is.
Oh yeah, yeah. The 88 just lost it mid corner. He got a little bit of love tap from the 8, lifted it up some more, and he just couldn't control it from there.
That's going to give some significant damage there to Noah there on the left front of that car. We'll take a look and see what kind of damage he has
He
remaining
got wheel damage.
after that pit stop, and he's going to make a little bit more contact for good measure with the 88. We'll take a look and see what Nick has, or what Noah's got on the front of that car. But
Do all the drivers have lane choice here? I just noticed that.
so this league actually does, yes, everybody does the lane choice here. They have the choose rule here, which makes for some interesting restarts.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Tom. Hey, let's think about that.
All right, Chris, if the first 25 laps was a dress rehearsal for what we're going to see in the second half of the race, we are in for a show out here tonight. Jared Talmadge, I believe Jared Talmadge is going to be the control car. Chris Stitz elects to take the inside line and give himself some clean air on this restart. What is he able to do with it by the time we see the green flag? Larry Yingling going to be restarting on the... Can't see. Is he behind? Yeah, he's behind Jared Talmadge. So Larry Yingling elects to start from the outside here. We'll see how these drivers make this restart work.
Now, how about Jesse Thornock up 12 positions? Started in dead last, and now they're in 21st. It's a great drive so far.
Yeah, Jesse, one of the drivers that was involved in the opening start issues that this field saw out here tonight. Let's see if this restart looks any better for these drivers as we come into the restart zone. Once again, Jared Talmadge, the control car. Chris Stitz on the inside. We are back green flag racing. Four wide at the start-finish line. Looks like maybe Nick Renner down there on the inside, just judging off of the colors. But these drivers getting at it early here on restart number 1.
Looks like they're keeping it clean as well. That's a great start from everybody.
Yeah, Larry Yingling, he's going to be under pressure from Chris Stitz. Chris Stitz takes a look down to the inside for second place. Isaac Shelley in the 98 being chased down by Thomas Green. These drivers all trying to make something happen while the good is good on the good years. How long can they do this for? Jared Talmadge loves to see it. He's got a 4/10 of a second lead by the time they cross the start-finish line.
You might see a lot of drivers start to be aggressive using that tire that they're just on new tires. You're probably going to see a lot of people be aggressive trying to take their positions now.
The battle for second settles out. Larry Yingling going to take second place. Third place going to belong to Chris Stitz as they run right now. More battles happening back here. Arie Fonseca takes a look on the inside of the 7 of Cedric Hunter in front of Josh Stovall, the driver that we spoke with in the pre-race warm-up out here tonight. Josh started 18th out here tonight, said he was just going to try to manage the tires and work his way forward slowly but methodically throughout the field, and before halfway, he finds himself up inside the top 10.
Top 10 looking good going into turn 1. Looks like the 50... Ooh, is that the 53? I can't tell. They got very similar liveries. Oh, the 03 was looking to the outside of the 01.
Yep, very similar schemes. That's going to be Clint Cox in the 10th place running position, who's under fire from Cody Reed. Cody Reed takes a look down to the inside there as Josh looks to take another position here from the 24 of Arie Fonseca. Driver's going to get so close through the apex of 3 and 4, settle it out by the time they come out of turns 3 and 4. But Clint Cox now being pressured by Cody Reed. This is a battle for a 10th place running position. So drivers came down on lap number 27. That'll bring us to about 87. I think 13 laps is going to be a long stretch here for these drivers to possibly save. But
yeah, I don't think we're going to see a lot of people saving, to be honest. It's probably going to be another stop before the end of the race. It's just a question of when.
Possible issues here for Joshua Sawyer. Let's take a look here, see if this is the incident. Joshua Sawyer, saw him slow on the backstretch here. Oh, huge hit. No yellow flag for that, which is surprising. Nick Renner involved, Joshua Sawyer involved. I think maybe Dakota Moniz as well, as we have a battle for the race lead. Larry Yingling has made his way around Jarrett Talmadge right as we were going to that quick little replay there. But new race leader and a familiar race leader, Larry Yingling, in that Ford Mustang.
Yeah, no caution for that incident is actually really surprising for my race. And we had, what, 2 cars go around on the front stretch. I'm very surprised they didn't throw that.
Lap number 34 in the books, working lap number 35. Larry has opened up a little bit of a race lead over second place Jarrett Talmadge right now. First battle out on track right now. You got Chris Stitz, Ryan Kelly battling for a 4th place running position. Looks like the 98 going to be able to protect that spot for the time being, as most of the top 15 single file out here for the time being. But as I say that, Jarrett Talmadge, he's going to try to take a look down onto the inside of the 67. Not going to be close enough. By the time they come out of turn number 4, going to restack, repack, and try again.
Number 67 is about 2-car gap on the 27 of Jarrett Talmadge now. They are still looking like Talmadge looks like he's trying to catch up to the 67 now. It's kind of looks like they're kind of settled out for now. It doesn't look very, very interesting at the moment.
Yeah, first time we've seen some real separation up inside the top 5. Gotta wonder if drivers are starting to save fuel up here. While this is kind of separated here up, we're gonna take a look back here. This is a battle for about the 16th place running position. Josh Kanata, Chris Stamper, Ryan Bird, Mike Miller back here. Drivers trying to find their way forward. Josh Kanata started 21st out here tonight. Some of these drivers going the wrong way. Mike Miller started 9th, down to 19th place running position. Looks like he's got some damage on the front end of that 99 Chevy Camaro. Not the place that you want to have damage out here.
I was pressing the wrong button. I believe he was caught up in that first lap incident, the 99.
Yeah, very possible, as he is gone the wrong way early in tonight's race, as we have a battle for the race lead. Once again, Larry Yingling gets passed by Jarrett Talmadge here on lap number 38. As every time Larry gets passed here, Chris, I've noticed every time Larry gets passed, he immediately takes another shot at the 27 as to not letting him step away. Jarrett already a winner on the season, the points leader coming into tonight's race. So the 67 looking to pick up a win out here tonight, but he knows before he has that opportunity, he's going to have to go through the 27 and possibly others.
You know, I think it's a real smart decision by him to just not let the 27 go at all, because as soon as you get a little bit of a gap here at Michigan, it's kind of like the leader gets to just run away, especially if you get fire from behind as well. So I think he's doing a great job of just keeping pressure on the 27 as you see the 27 guarding that bottom line.
Little bit of a block, a little bit of a defensive line down into turn number 3. Jarrett Talmadge slides down, tries to slide down in front of the 67. Not going to happen just yet. These drivers going to be side by side. Issue for Mike Miller a moment ago. We're going to stick right here for the time being, and then we're going to find a replay once we get a second to get away from this race lead. But Larry Yingling still down up on the inside. Thomas Green started on the pole out here tonight.
Thomas looks like a stalking cat in the background right now to this battle. He is looking to wait to make his move to get around both of them. He's waiting for some issue to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't hate this, right? He's saving a little bit more fuel than both the 27 and the 67 as they race. He's just been kind of following along these two drivers, letting them use up their tires a little bit more than the two drivers directly in front of him. So if I'm the 67, or if I'm the 3, I don't hate this so much. Just got to be careful that you're not putting too much dirty air and burning off that right front.
Yeah, a lot of strategy going into play here for the 3.
Larry Yingling to the outside of Jarrett Talmadge now into turn number 1. Talmadge tries to get the momentum off of turn number 2. He's going to be able to slide up in front of the 67 as they're going to dance around on the backstretch here, give the 27 the race lead by the time they get down into turn number 3. That's going to separate the race lead here for just a moment and that'll give us an opportunity to take a look and see what happens with Mike Miller here. So Mike Miller, so this is back up here. Let's slot back here just a little bit. Looking for the right moment here. So this looks like this is going to be pretty close. Mike Miller up on the outside, and he's actually going to have an engine expire. That's what happens with him. Good job by the other drivers to avoid him.
Yeah, wow, it looks like he just blew up.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about the damage on the front of that car a couple of laps ago. So that engine expired. Mike Miller down there, night over for the 99.
Yeah, you got to wonder if some of that damage maybe pushed in a radiator or something to where it was just overheating. That's probably really what happened. Getting back up here to the leaders, the 27 has a sizable gap on the 67 for now. It's kind of exactly what the 67 didn't want to happen, I'm sure, because now he's about to be under fire from the 3.
Yeah, and Thomas Green, we think, has a little bit better tires here in terms of what he may have been saving over the last, well, call it 15 laps or so.
Yeah, I think it was about 15.
While these drivers were racing hard for position. We'll go on board here with Thomas Green, see what he sees out of the front nose of that Chevy Camaro across the start-finish line to begin lap number 44. Here I'm having to play with the throttle there a little bit. Gets on the throttle, gets off the throttle, even just the tiniest a bit. And these long straightaways here, that's certainly not going to be what you want down these straightaways, because you can see the effects it has. That Larry was able to open up maybe about a half a car length there. And that's all it takes to protect position number 2 right now as it runs for Larry. Now Isaac Shelley inside this conversation as well, as he's going to take a look down to the quarter panel of Thomas Green for 3rd place.
Yeah, you can see him putting a lot of air on that rear left quarter panel of the 3, trying to slide him up a little bit. Looks like he was able to make the move too. Here's a big slider from the 98. 3's going to have the momentum here. He's probably just going to end up slotting behind and pushing, though.
Yeah, Thomas Green going to grab the draft down the backstretch and stay behind the 98 for the time being. All this is happening. 0.4 of a second has opened up for the race lead between race leader Jared Talmadge, 2nd place Larry Yingling right now. We'll take a look back at some of the other battles happening. A little bit back here. This is for about the 7th place position. Arie Fonseca runs in 7th over Cedric Hunter in the number 7. Josh Stovall directly behind them, running in 9, trying to gain up a couple of positions out here.
It looks like we got Mike Miller in the chat, I believe, saying that the spotter was not calling his engine.
Oh, yeah, that'll do. We did see some damage on the front end there. So, unfortunate end to the 99's night for Mike Miller, who sits down on pit road with terminal damage. Not the race that he wanted to have happen out here tonight, but Arie Fonseca, Cedric Hunter still swapping positions by the time they exit turn number 4. Josh Stovall now up in the position, up into the picture for position number 8. He's going to take a look to the outside, trying to do a power move on the outside of Hunter.
And we see the 24 come down from the 7. You're going to wonder if that gives the 1 a little bit of a momentum here on the backstretch. Looks like he does, but he's probably still going to sit behind him, maybe make his move into the entry of 3 instead. Looks like he just fends to be, or opts to be defensive.
You see the steering wheel on the left-hand side of your screen, moving left, moving right throughout the corner here for Josh Stovall. So we know these drivers battling some bad tires out here. 48 laps in, and the battle for the bonus point, for the halfway bonus point, starting to pull away here for Jared Talmadge, as that'll be awarded here in another lap or 2.
All these drivers here are going to be on about 20 lap old tires. You could already see in that in-car cam that they're starting to get tight in these corners. So there's going to be a lot of speed difference in and out of the corners as well.
So here's the interesting thought here, Chris, right? We're within the pit window, right? Because we know fuel's about 60 laps here. if you come down on pit road, depending where you are on the track, I would imagine you're going to lose at least a lap if you're running up inside, maybe the top 10, maybe even more if you're outside of that. Wonder if these drivers consider trying to split this here and maybe pitting around. They pitted on lap number 27, maybe pitting around lap number 60 or 65.
You know, I honestly think a lot of these drivers are gonna opt to pit around that like 65 portion, because the tire fall off seems, oh, we got a little bit of issues for the 98, but the tire fall off seems to be pretty hefty here. So I don't think these drivers really want to go more than like 30 or so laps on worn tires. So you got to wonder if they're gonna end up just going down earlier at the 65 portion, or if they might wait a little bit.
Well, we'll see. If I'm a driver mid-pack to the back of the pack, or maybe looking to make up some time here, I don't hate it. But this time by, we're going to award the halfway bonus sponsor. That is sponsored by Sam Garcia and Apex 50. Hey, if you're looking for a fun and relatable stream, head on over to SG_Racing. Has you covered. Check out Sam's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch on SG_Racing. For the halfway bonus sponsor, point going to go to driver number 27 here. Sam Garcia, we'll take a quick look. Halfway sponsor currently runs back in 18th out here tonight. Started 19th, so only up one position from his starting position.
Still looking good out here in the black number 50. I'm glad he was able to sponsor this race, get us out here.
Yeah, Sam always a strong contender out here in that Toyota Supra. Tell you what, the last 2 weeks he's been in a black car, and he struggled both last week and this week. I think he's got to get back out to that pink machine that we're familiar seeing out
It's all
here.
the heat.
Yeah.
It's all the heat getting to him.
I wish we had some heat right now. It has been, I can't tell you the last time it was above 0.
It was, tell me why it was 1 degree yesterday and I walk outside and it says feels like -20. Come on now.
It's been insane. My furnace can't wait to give my furnace a break. Can't wait to see my gas bill this month. But all the meanwhile, just past halfway in this race, Jarrett Talmadge has opened up just over a half-second lead over Isaac Shelley. Before we expect to see green flag pit stops out here, we're going to step away for just a minute or two. Pay some bills here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network. We're going to follow the live coverage here, and we'll be back for green flag racing in just a few minutes.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As that's still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as as well. What is going on in Michigan?
No back into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh, my
and to the
goodness.
line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Aphrodite is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
All right, back here live on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network. Followed the great battles happening under the commercial. Jarrett Talmadge still in the race lead here, just past halfway, lap number 57 of the race tonight so far. Isaac Shelley now up into second place. Larry Yingling has made his way back to third place. Chris Stitz in fourth, and rounding out the top five is Thomas Green.
He's really comfortable with that little pillow behind him. And we got a big separation from the top three to the back, to fourth as well.
Yeah, this is really kind of the biggest separation here, Chris, that we've seen, especially in, I guess we'll call it stage one. They don't run stages here in the Trinity Racing League, but throughout the first 25 laps before we saw our first full course yellow, this is the biggest separation for the leaders that we have seen. But back here in about the battle for 15th place, Josh Kanata and Ryan Bird, two drivers that haven't really made their way forward out here tonight. Kind of surprising for both of these drivers.
It looks like they've just been caught up in battling each other, to be honest. 16 got a big wiggle on the outside there. That's going to leave a lot of momentum for the 49 on the inside there.
All right, so now we approach lap number 60 here, Chris. This kind of cuts the fuel run. If drivers were considering cutting the fuel run, if I'm back in, I mean, these drivers qualified with a 39.11 right now, right? 39.11 was the qualifying times out here. Last time by, 41.1 seconds for the majority of the field. Some of them even dipping down a little bit slower than that.
Oh yeah,
that's 2.5 seconds a lap here. If you're anywhere inside the top 7 right now, that could jump the race leaders here by short pitting, but you pay the price on the long run.
Yeah, I really honestly think that we're going to see a lot of drivers come towards like the 70 mark. That's where I'm feeling the most.
Well, we'll see who comes down and when they do, but last driver that may be able to take advantage of it right now, probably Cedric Hunter, probably the last driver who is about 3.3 seconds back, or excuse me, 3 seconds back. Brandon Gass is about 3.3 seconds back. Anybody within that window, top 8 right now, could benefit from short pitting out here. Drivers that are back a little bit further, Josh Stovall, we followed his race along here tonight. He's making battles with the 25 of Cody Reed, trying to take a top 10 position away from the 25. 25 is going to get loose on the apex of turns 1 and 2, and Clint Cox
really
not
loose.
too far behind.
Yeah, 25 got really loose in that corner. One's going to have Josh Stovall, and the one is going to have a really big jump into the turn 3 here. It looks like he made the slide job. Oh,
right.
Here we go. We got down pits, 25.
All right, so the first driver to hit pit road pits from the 10th place running position. Cody Reed. Had 2 other drivers answer that call. Jesse Thornock also on pit road in the number 14. We'll see if any of the front runners answer that call and come down the next time by. We'll jump on over to the race leaders here. Jarrett Talmadge, Isaac Shelley, Larry Yingling, the top 3 as they run right now. About 0.7 of a second between first and second, and then third place as well. Jarrett Talmadge currently controlling this race out here this evening. Going to go around for one more circuit.
It seems like those 2 were the only 2 to elect to go on pit road this early. I'm honestly kind of surprised. I thought it would kind of start like a ripple effect, but didn't.
So Cody Reed comes out. Cody Reed's going to be a lap down here. Luckily for Cody, he doesn't have anybody directly in front of the 27 that's in danger of going a lap down until somebody else comes down pit road. So Cody Reed currently in the free pass position if a yellow flag were to fly at this very moment. Jarrett Talmadge, is Jarrett coming down pit road? Nope, he's going to stay out. He's just running a little bit lower line than what we saw. Justin Campbell in the 2 going to come down onto pit road.
Seems like somebody had issues coming down pit road with the big smoke cloud that we got, but nothing too crazy, it seems like. We got Jarrett Talmadge coming out of turn 2 right now, still with a very comfortable lead on the 98. Almost up to a second now.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the last times for Cody Reed here. Still waiting for him to complete his first lap on this set of tires, as the leaders are going to stay out at least one more lap. Battle's starting to heat up, back for about the 5th place running position. Thomas Green under fire from the 13 of Ryan Kelly, a name that we haven't said a whole lot out here tonight, but he's been inside the top 10 for the majority of the running of tonight's event. 5th place now goes to the 13. If he's able to make that pass on Thomas Green, looks like he may be able to do just that. Also a battle directly behind them, Arie Fonseca, Cedric Hunter, starting to close in on this little 2-car group in front of them to become a 5-car group by the time it is all said and done.
You gotta wonder how this group is gonna look after the pit road cycles as well.
Dakota Moniz in the 5 is going to come down onto pit road. He came down from about the, I want to say it was about Isaac Shelley. All right, so first of our race leaders to come down. Isaac Shelley pits from the top 5. And now I think, Chris, seeing the 98 come down, if you're one of the race leaders, you have to answer that call and you have to come down next time.
Absolutely. That's probably going to be our ripple effect right there.
And you can just see the time difference there in the tires as Cody Reed's able to just drive around the race leader, Jarrett Talmadge, put himself effectively back on the lead lap, albeit the tail end of the lead lap right now, but back on the lead lap for the 25 as he is posting times about 2.5 seconds faster than these drivers. To Jarrett Talmadge coming down on pit road.
Interesting. Only Jarrett, though. We got the rest of the others staying out.
All right, so the leader of the race pits, Larry Yingling, inherits the race lead as Jarrett comes down onto pit road. That's going to put 2nd place to Chris Stitz, 3rd to Ryan Kelly, 4th now to Arie Fonseca. 5th place now belongs to Thomas Green as Jarrett Talmadge, the race leader, comes onto pit road. We'll see if Larry, Chris, or Ryan decides to come down onto pit road this time by. Not going to happen just yet. Larry's going to get super loose on the exit of corner number 4. That's going to put Chris Nose on the hunt. Cedric Hunter is one of our drivers coming down on pit road, as is Nolan Hickson, the 86.
Chris looks like he made the pass into the number 1 position.
Yes, he certainly did. New race leader Chris Stitz. Want to say this is the first time we've seen the 17 out front tonight, but has been in position for the majority of the opening 68 laps out here in the Michigan Freeze 200 here for race number 5 of the Trinity Racing League. We'll see if any of these leaders come down onto pit road this time. We already Cedric Hunter, Nolan Hicks, Jarrett Talmadge, Cody Reed, notables that have come down now, Thomas Green and Clint Cox.
Very interesting to see all the differences in pit strategies here.
Well, I mean, let's take a look here real quick. This is going to effectively be the battle for the race lead. Cody Reed came down 5 laps earlier than the 27 of Jarrett Talmadge, and look where he's running here, Chris.
Yeah, he's looking like he's going to have a real comfortable lead.
Well, he's running in front of the 27, but 5 lap better tires is going to be something that's worth talking about here, as Jarrett Talmadge is quickly closing that gap, but you could just see how much they are worth as other leaders come down on pit road. Arie Fonseca, Josh Stovall come down onto pit road. Chris Stamper makes his way onto pit road as well. That's going to leave the top 9 drivers, as the timing tower shows it right now, yet to pit, all the way from Chris Stitz down to Stephen Clapp. All drivers yet to come down pit road. Last time they were on pit road for service was underneath that yellow flag way back on lap number 27. But an untimely caution here, Chris, I don't want to breathe it into existence, but an untimely caution right here could certainly shake this up.
Oh yeah, that would put a whole twist into everybody's strategy.
Leader Chris Stitz comes on pit road. So does Larry Yingling. That's going to pass the race lead over to Ryan Kelly in the number 13. Brandon Gass, last week's winner down in Austria, going to take over second place as they run right now. Scott Rickard moves up to third. Ryan Bird in fourth. The top 5, top 6 now yet to pit as this field gets a little bit thinner and thinner at the front of the field. Got to start to think that these drivers, they could probably run here another 10 or 15 laps here, Chris. It's just a matter of the time that they're losing by staying out.
Yep, and here come the leaders coming down pit road. Well, the race leaders at the moment, not the effective ones, but they're coming down right now. Well, we got a lot of people electing to come down now.
Yep, the entirety of the top 6 drivers who have not yet pitted come down onto pit road this time. And now everybody has completed or is currently completing their round of green flag pit stops out here. Isaac Shelley. So this is interesting. So Isaac Shelley, remember Isaac Shelley came down a lap before the 27. And Shelley has probably about a 4-car length lead here over Jarrett Talmadge. Cody Reed has lost about 2 seconds here, but the real winner on this pit stop is going to be the 98, who's only at a 1-lap disadvantage.
Absolutely. I think the 98 made the best decision out of the top group there. We got 27 of Jarrett Talmadge looking to the inside. He's not going to be close enough, but you might see a little bit of speed difference on this exit of the corner.
Something else worth keeping an eye on, Chris. I'm looking at last pit times for some of these drivers. Arie Fonseca, albeit 9 seconds back, he's got four lap better tires than these race leaders. Chris Stitz, 10 seconds back, he's got 5 lap better tires. I don't know that you're going to make up 10 seconds on time just with tires alone in terms of getting to the race lead, but it certainly opens up their options to go and gain some positions up inside the top 5 in the closing laps of tonight's race.
Absolutely. I honestly think, for example, when it comes to like people like Cody Reed who pit really early, those people might start to move back in the pack compared to everybody. But yeah, the 10 seconds is going to be really hard to make up, especially just with tires. You got to put a lot of luck into that as well.
Jarrett Talmadge on the inside of the 98 of Shelley by the time they come down into turn number 1. They've got Noah Steele, lap vehicle on the inside, involved in an earlier incident, brings that number 8 back out on track. But a battle for the race lead into turn number 3. Talmadge on the inside, Shelley on the outside. Talmadge trying to slide up in front of the 98. Not going to happen just yet. Shelley cutting off everything that he possibly can. A little bit of contact on the exit of turn number 4. It's going to be the 98 at the start-finish line for another lap led.
The 27 got real loose at the bottom of that corner. He slid right up, almost caused an incident with the 98, but they were able to sort it out and keep it clean. Oh, and now the opposite's happening for the 98.
Talmadge still down on the inside, tries to slide up in front of the 98. Door bumper clear for Jarrett Talmadge. The race leader before the round of pit stops has retaken the lead. Isaac Shelley falls back into second as Noah Steele tries to find some real estate to work to put those good years to use on that Chevy Camaro down on the inside. But Jarrett Talmadge back up in the race lead. Cody Reed now 4.5 seconds back, so losing time. Cedric Hunter, though, is going to be the one we need to keep an eye on. He is 5.3 seconds back here. He's got a lap better tires. There's going to be a whole lot to ask, right? But if it's going to be a lot to ask, but if these drivers get to racing, it's not unsurmountable.
Oh yeah, not at all. Definitely not unsurmountable. Once they start racing real close up the front, if they continue to race, they're definitely going to put a lot of wear on their tires towards the front, and people in the back are going to have a lot of opportunity to move forward.
Drivers with newer tires back here. Chris Stitz on the inside of Arie Fonseca. Larry Yingling led a bunch of laps out here tonight. Currently runs in the 8th place running position. This is battle for 8th, directly in front of Nolan Hicks, Clint Cox, directly behind Arie Fonseca. Actually, both of these drivers, all 3 of these drivers rather, have a lot better tires. They've cut into that lead by about a second here. I gotta imagine at some point the tires are gonna start to even out. And unfortunately for this group, I do think it's gonna happen before they get to the race lead. But within striking distance here, Chris, they've got Cody Reed 3 seconds up the road. They got Thomas Green 3.5 seconds up the road. Cedric Hunter 3.7 seconds up the road. So maybe not a race winning strategy from this group back here, but certainly could find some additional positions.
Yeah, they definitely are going to be able to find some additional positions, I think. Especially with how I was saying before, with for example, like Cody Reed falling off of the tires a little early. I definitely think that this group is going to have their opportunity to make up some spots, but like you said, definitely not the race lead.
Riding on board with Clint Clocks, the driver started 15th out here tonight. He's following my usual co-host Arie Heinzman's favorite paint scheme, the Taco Bell paint scheme.
I was just about to say that's a really good scheme. I was really just about to say that. That's funny.
Gonna get very close on the corner exit 4 there. Almost gonna make contact, but these drivers carry on without issue on the front stretch here, trying to take any sort of air away from the 86. It doesn't get any closer than that by the time they get down to turn number 1. Clint Cox on the inside, Nolan Hicks on the outside.
Oh, almost big issues for the 86 there. He got a big wiggle on the top of turn 1. He was able to save it and not cause any issues for any other drivers.
And that opens up the door for Brandon Gass. Brandon Gass came down on lap number 71, so he's got like three lap better tires than the cars directly in front of him. So we'll see smoke in front of him here.
Oh,
is that Mark Labertone? That is the 42 of Labertone. Oh my goodness. So we got 20 laps to go right now. This puts us in an interesting position here, and it's going to bring the field back together. All right, let's take a look here. We weren't too far from it. All right, following the 42 along, and directly behind the 25 of Cody Reed, got Larry Yingling directly behind him. Looks like there's going to be contact between the 86, or the 67, and the 42. We'll take a look with Larry here into turn number 3. This is hard to say here, Chris. It almost looks like the 42 was reacting to the 25, who I don't think he really was checking up. I think that's just the tire difference there, because Mark Labertone last pit on lap number 63. He's got a couple lap better tires than the 25. And then, unfortunately, the 67 of Larry going to get into the rear quarter panel and send Mr. Labertone for a ride.
Yeah, it just looked like a classic issue of just difference in tires there. They look like Labertone couldn't check up for the car in front of him. And unfortunately, Larry ended up... Or sorry, he did check up for the car in front of him. It looked like Larry wasn't able to for him.
As expected, the entirety of the field coming down pit road here for, I guess this is considered unscheduled service, but the entire field coming down onto pit road. Now you got to start to wonder if we see any two-tire strategies. I don't know that 2 tires is really the right call here at Michigan, but for some track position, I've been known to do more than that. So we'll see as Larry Yingling going to win the race off of pit road. And I tell you what, Chris, 9.6 seconds in the box for Larry.
Quick pit stop there. Oh my.
Oh,
definitely had to.
That's going to be 2 tires there for the 67. So, all right, so Larry led a bunch of laps early in tonight's race here, Chris. Now back up in the race lead, going to have some clean air back on the 67 once again. How many laps did they run? They ran probably about 9 laps on tires. Maybe for Larry it was closer to 5. But it's going to be, we'll see how this works out. That's for certain. But also, let's not forget about the choose world as well.
Yeah, that choose rule is so interesting. I've never been in a league with it. I think it's so cool, and I hope I'm able to, see that at some point. But I think the choose rule is really cool.
33 drivers started tonight's race. Looks like 27 of them are still circling around the track in some capacity or another. Mark Labertone, the driver that we are under caution here for this most recent yellow flag, on making its way off the pit road, was on pit road, but some serious damage on that 42. This is going to be a night that Mark is going to want to forget. But at the front of the field, Larry takes the outside line here. Interesting call here from the 27. He elects to give up the front row for an outside starting spot.
I think he wants to get that speed off the top of 1 and 2.
Well, you also got to think here, right? I mean, he's starting behind Larry here, who's on a little bit older tires. I think maybe not being behind the 67 may have been a better option here, as Mark Labertone has additional issues under yellow flag.
Oh yeah, his day's done. You could hear that motor blow up.
Heavy hit for Labertone under the yellow flag here, but lights are back on the iRacing.com pace car. Race control going to extend this caution for another lap, allow everybody to get back where they need to be and get the debris in turn number 3 picked up from the 42. But going back to what I was saying here, Chris, if I'm the 27, I've got to have a little bit of concern about either tire spin or just being faster than the 67 on the restart. I almost would have preferred to have the inside line here on the restart and not have that.
That is a fair point to bring up, to be honest. I think, I don't know, if I were the 27, I would just like to stick, me personally, I just like the high line here, but if I was the 27, I would want to get that speed to maybe be able to push the 67 out to the front and then battle him later and not have to worry about the 3.
Well, we're about to find out how it plays out here tonight. Want to give a shout out to our title sponsor. That's Larry Arts Production. Larry Arts Production, it's a comedy variety YouTube channel with content ranging from stop motion videos, vlogs, live streams, and more. Check out all the insanity that Larry produces on YouTube today. Head on over to Larry Arts Production. Give him a subscription as well. And thanks for being a partner here in the Trinity Racing League, allowing the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network to be here every single Monday night. Next week, we're going to be off here as these drivers have a scheduled off week. And then we're going to pick up the Monday night action in 2 weeks' time at Texas Motor Speedway, the old legacy, the better version of Texas, 2009. Texas and I have never really gotten along throughout the years. I have a tough time with turn 1.
I haven't raced Legacy Texas in a long time, but turn 1 in New Texas, absolutely. I cannot get that right. I cannot.
Looking past Texas, they're going to go to Homestead, Darlington, Pocono, and then finally they're going to see a road course of Sonoma Raceway. But before we get there, we have questions to answer out here tonight. Larry Yingling, the control car, Thomas Green on the inside, Cedric Hunter now up inside the top 5, green flag back out.
Good start from Yingling up front. He's going to have a comfortable little lead, maybe about a half a car length. 27 is going to sit there and slot on that top line. Oh, actually elects for the middle.
Yeah, Jarrett Talmadge trying to make move on the 3 of Thomas Green. Looks like he's going to be able to carry the momentum down the straightaway. Now he's got the 67 in his crosshairs. We know the 27 has been fast here tonight. We know the 67 has been fast here tonight. Let's not count out Larry's pit strategy here. In the closing laps of the race, Jarrett Talmadge going to get a little sideways in 3 and 4. It's going to put second place to Thomas Green as they come across the start-finish line. Give us 16 laps of racing to go, and we're 3 wide behind him.
You got to wonder if the 3 getting below the 27 there may gave him that little wiggle from the air difference. But he was able to take that stop from the 27. Now he's hunting for the 67.
Thomas Green going to lose a spot to the 27. Almost contact on the exit of turn number 2. Larry Yingling still in the race lead by about 2 car lengths. Now Isaac Shelley takes a look for third place on Thomas Green. Up front, it's still the red and yellow 67 being chased down by the Me Machine of Jarrett Talmadge.
Ooh, 98 slots right up in front of the 3 there. Just all these cars looking great right now. They're all looking racy. They're all looking for this win.
15 laps to go. That's what we got to go out here tonight. Talmadge on the inside of Yingling, going to try to take a look down onto the inside. Got a little bit better tires. Yingling on 2 tires and almost everybody else on 4 tires. Not going to be enough to clear him off of turn number 2. Larry Yingling still got a nose there, but not for long. Jared Talmadge got help coming from behind, and now that help turns into a battle for the race lead with Isaac Shelley on the inside of 3.
Shelley dives it down on the inside, trying to do the same thing that the 3 did to the 27. Maybe pack a little bit of air on the side, get the 27 loose, then he can get a little bit of space on the exit. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen. The 67 is going to elect to go with the... Oh, he switched it up, went to the 27, had a little push, wanted to force that battle. 67 is going to stick to the top now.
Still 2 wide into turn number 1. Shelley with the advantage and maybe clear by the time they exit turn number 2. He's going to be clear. Talmadge sideways on the exit of turn number 2. Thomas Green in a position to take a look to the inside. Not going to happen just yet. Directly behind this group, 3 wide for about the 6th place running position. Nolan Hicks, Ali Fonseca, Cedric Hunter. They're going to settle out back to a 2 wide battle as Josh Stovall going to move up some spots as well. And we've got 3 wide now for 3rd place.
Stovall's looking to the inside of that battle. That's going to be a crazy entry to turn 1. Contact, we got a little bit of contact, squeezing him down. 27 up into the wall.
RG into the entry of turn number 1. Stovall on the inside, Thomas Green in the middle, and Jared Talmadge up on the outside. Josh Stovall gonna win the battle through turns 1 and 2. Jared Talmadge now down to 3rd place as Josh Stovall has made his way up into 2nd. Larry Yingling gonna bounce off the wall a couple of times by the time they get down to turn number 3. Down the super stretch on the backstretch here, but everybody getting sideways here. Isaac Shelley has opened up by about a quarter of a second over 2nd place Stovall.
It's just crazy how much you can see how loose these cars are in the corners. You can see them skewing all the way around in the corner. It's crazy.
Riding on board with the current 5th place runner Nolan Hicks, looking to advance his position. Kind of surprised that that Jarrett has slid back here on this restart. Now with just 12 laps to go, opportunities are starting to run out for the driver who has led the most laps out here tonight. But at the front of the field, Josh Stovall is as close as he's been all night to the race lead. He's going to be on the back of the 98, contact with the 98 and the 1. We all continue in the right direction.
They were able to figure that one out, but that was really cool. Oh, big contact between the 98 and the 1. The 1 goes spinning into the inside wall, and that's going to be a hard bit of damage for the 1 here.
We stay green flag racing here, but contact between the 98 and the 1 on corner exit here. This really kind of started on the entry into turn number 3. The 98 just kind of really comes down the track quite a bit there. We'll take another look at this. We'll go to the blimp for this one and just real time there.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a little bit of displeasure from the 98 from getting moved up the track.
Big issues on track. Jared
goodness.
Talmadge back in the race lead. Thomas Green heavy into the wall. Oh my goodness, Chris.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Thomas Green heavy into the wall. Cedric Hunter heavy into the wall. Josh Stovall, who we just saw have an issue a moment ago, into the wall. Jared Talmadge somehow takes the race lead through all of that. I think we've got some replays to look here. Looks like let's grab. All right, I'm not sure where to start here, so let's start here and see what happens. So Thomas Green on the outside of the 7 of Cedric Hunter. You see Jared Talmadge up there battling for the race lead on the 98 of Isaac Shelley. It looks like Cedric Hunter's just going to slide up just a little bit and make contact there.
Oh, yeah, it looks like the 7 tried to make the move.
Yeah, bad entry for the 7. And that's going to send him into the racing line of the 3. Multiple drivers coming through here, but an early end to the night for some race contenders this evening.
Yeah, and that was a hard lick from both of them. They're definitely going to the infield care center after this.
All right, we're gonna take more looks at the replay, but we are back on pit road here in the closing laps. Gonna have a little bit of a shootout here in the closing laps of tonight's race. Now, this is the opportunity here that I think if anybody's going to take 2 tires, it's got to be here. You already see Ali Fonseca rolling out of his box. Looks like he may win the race off of pit road. It's close with Brandon Gass there. I believe the position's going to go to the Yeah,
It went to the
positions.
24.
It did go to the 24. Isaac Shelley going to roll off third. All right, so we got a little bit of a mixed bag. A little bit of
How about that?
Mixed bag of marbles here. The top two, Arie Fonseca, Brandon Gass. Brandon Gass, last week's winner at the Red Bull Ring. Taking 2 tires here. And then 2nd through 7th. Taking 4. So let's try to find Cedric Hunter here. Back to the replay for this most recent incident, Chris.
Yeah, I really think that the Hello Kitty machine might have just slid up the track, underestimated how much grip he had, or he was either trying to make a move on the 3 and just did not have the room. But either way, it's going to be a hard lick from both of them.
Race-ending night, or a race-ending moment for both of these drivers' nights out here this evening, with just a handful of laps to go at Michigan International Speedway. Hard hit for the 3 and the 7. As you can see, they are stuck together. But up at the front of the field, it's a new name. The first time we've seen Arie Fonseca have some clean air and Brandon Gass. You know, I mean, on this previous restart here, Chris, we saw Larry. He kind of drove away for a lap or two. We're only going to have maybe 5 laps to go before the end of this.
Yeah, you got to wonder how this is going to turn out, especially with these new names up here. They're probably going to be looking for the win as well, and it's probably going to get dicey. Seems like pretty even distribution through the choose rule here.
Arie Fonseca elects to take the inside line here. Brandon Gass looking to become the first repeat winner on the season here in the Trinity Racing League. We will see how this happens over the next handful of laps. Lights are out off top. The iRacing.com pace car. We're set to go green flag racing once again out here tonight. 2 tires on the front row, 4 tires directly behind him. We may see 3 and 4 wide battles by the time we get down into turn number 1, Chris. The race has made its way, and the races come to this, and we're about to find out how it goes.
All these drivers looking to hit the loud pedal here in just a few seconds. And there he goes, waving the flag. There they are. They go.
And by the time we
block down.
By the time we get down into turn number 1, Isaac Shelley into the inside of the 24. Takes a big look down, tries to make that pass, and by the time he's going to get to the apex of 1 and 2, he's going to be almost clear on the inside of the 24. Not clear just yet. Big issues in the back of the field. Everybody keeps it going in the right direction for now, but Isaac Shelley still putting pressure on the 24. Not able to make it happen on the backstretch. Going to try again in 3.
Yeah, that looked like Chris Stitz in the back getting into the wall. Unfortunate for him. But we got this battle going on in the front. We cannot take our eyes off this. Oh, my God. Big contact there.
3 wide with Brandon Gass. Last week's winner up on the outside. Arie Fonseca stuck in the middle. Nolan Hicks, where did he come from? 6 laps to go. 3 wide for the 2nd place position and back.
We got 8 cars within like a quarter of a second of each other. That is crazy.
Almost 4 wide off at turn number 2. Brandon Gass sees the race lead for the first time here tonight. 6 laps to go in the Michigan 3's 200. He's going to step away by about a car length and a half. By the time we get down to turn number 3, it's going to be all Brandon Gass. And from back there, it's anybody's guess.
Yeah, if I'm Brandon Gass here, I'm looking in my rearview mirror and seeing a whole beehive of bees trying to get my position, and we got a big wreck right there.
Shelley's going to go around on the front stretch. Big issues for the 98. Big issues for the 98 out here once again in the closing laps, 3 and 4 wide racing, and sometimes that'll be what it be. Yellow flag out. We'll take a look at this restart here. Isaac Shelley in the middle. Jared Talmadge on the inside trying to zone in on exactly where this happens. Looks like the 03 Clint Cox going to bounce off the wall into the right front of the 98 of Shelley. Ryan Kelly right there, barely getting by. To be determined. No, Ryan Kelly going to collect some damage there on the number 13, but heavy damage, possibly race-ending damage.
And that's just unfortunate for the 98.
Looks like maybe... Do we have issues underneath the yellow flag here? Oh, no, you know what? Drivers are waiting on the pace car. That's all that is. I saw a bunch of drivers crashing on live timing, and I thought maybe we had additional issues. Just drivers waiting on the pace car. Everybody's going to stay out here.
Yeah, a whole bunch of red on that live time, and I was worried too. It's gonna be about what, 3 to go coming out this caution here, right? You're gonna see a lot of these drivers wanting to, be aggressive and get their positions here.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, if you think that was a showdown, we have got some fun closing laps out here tonight. Let's take a look at the top 5 as they run right now. Brandon Gass, going to have first choice of position out here. Arie Fonseca in second. Those two drivers up top, those two drivers were the two drivers that that came down on pit road but took 2 tires on that yellow flag. Clint Cox and Jarrett Talmadge round out the top 5 as they run. Well, let's not forget here, Chris. We've also got the option for some overtime here. Drivers do have 3 attempts at an overtime finish.
Yeah, I was just trying to find that one. I couldn't tell how many attempts they had, but 3 attempts at a green-white checkered here. It's gonna be real dicey. I already know that, especially with how they were just running. It's going to be crazy.
We expect the lights to go off the iRacing.com pace car this time. We're going to be off next week from the Trinity Racing League, but when we come back in 2 weeks, as stated before, we're going to be at Texas Motor Speedway. If you're enjoying tonight's broadcast, make sure you like the stream. It helps us out a lot. Subscribe, get notified every single time we bring you the racing action here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network. We're lined up, lights are off. Brandon Gass elects to take the outside. Arie Fonseca is going to jump up some positions here and join the front row.
It's interesting to see we got 4 drivers in the top 6 that are up 10+ positions. They have been really driving. And Jesse Thornock, like we were talking earlier, up 24 positions in 9th. Everybody's got a chance here.
Yeah, he was in the grass before we made it to the green flag out here tonight. So Jesse Thornock turning his night around out here. Nolan Hicks, a driver that we haven't said his name out here a whole lot out here tonight, finds himself in a position to be in contention in the closing laps out here. Larry Yingling led a bunch of laps in the opening parts of tonight's race. And Jarrett Talmadge, arguably the dominant driver out here tonight, finds himself back in 7th, or make it 8th for this restart.
Jarrett's definitely going to be one of the ones being aggressive here. He wants to get that lead back. He wants to have his say. It's going to be real dicey.
All right, the stakes are high. We're going to be coming down to a shootout here at Michigan. Arie Fonseca on the inside line, but the control car going to be Brandon Gass in the 29 on the outside line. Last week's winner at the road course of Red Bull Ring looks to become our first repeat winner here in the Trinity Racing League. Into the restart zone we go. Brandon Gass going to hit the loud pedal and send us on our way past the start-finish line. Brandon Gass with a 2-car length lead. Second place up for grabs. Nolan Hicks under fire from Arie Fonseca, trying to make the outside work. Larry Yingling now on 4 tires for that 67. Tries to make the outside work. He's following the 86 of Nolan Hicks down the backstretch. Battle is now for both the lead and 3rd place. It's a matter of who clears who first. By the time we get down to the south end of the speedway, we got 1 lap to go. Next time by, Chris.
1 lap to go. Everybody's trying to make their mark here. 24 gets a little bit loose there. 67 is going to have a run. And here comes the white flag. And Nolan Hicks is definitely going to look to the inside here from Brandon Gass.
Nolan Hicks follows the 29 of Brandon Gass down into turn number 1. Tries to put That 29 in position to get a good run down the backstretch. Not going to happen just yet. Now it's coming. On the inside goes the 86 down to turn number 3. Battle for the race lead between the 86, Nolan Hicks on the inside, Brandon Gass on the outside, Larry Yingling in the catbird seat. If something happens, Nolan Hicks edges ahead by the time they exit turn number 4. Gonna clear on the exit of corner number 4, and at the start finish line, Nolan Hicks makes us 5 for 5 new winners in the Trinity Racing League here at Michigan.
Man, what a race. What a race.
Incredible.
Nolan Hicks was really able to put it down. We were just talking about that Taco Bell machine too. Congrats to him. That was a great run.
Absolutely incredible finishes out here tonight. Let's we'll see if let's do this one more time. Let's replay this last couple of laps while we look for your post-race finishers, the top 3 post-race finishers. And Nolan Hicks able to put a little bit of separation in between himself and Ollie Fonseca and Larry Yingling. That allows him to have some opportunities, have some options by the time they get down to turn number 1. But kind of surprising here, Chris, he follows the 29 into turn number 1, and he sets his move up for the exit of 2.
Yeah, I really thought he was going to dip down in the entry of 1, but it was really smart for him to stay to the high line so he could have that run to end up making that jump down in 3. That was definitely the smarter decision there.
And here comes the run that we saw, and this was the deciding moment in the race. He's going to take a look down onto the inside of the 29. Brandon Gass. Brandon's going to get a little sideways there. And from there, it's all the 29 all the way to the checkered flag as we look to gather your top finishers out here tonight. Looks like we've got our 3rd place finisher out here this evening. Larry, how you doing tonight? It's Tom and Chris up in the booth. Good evening.
Pretty good.
Hey, Larry, I tell you what, you led a bunch of laps in the opening stage, and we saw you and Jarrett kind of going back and forth there. How are you managing those first 30 laps or so?
I was just trying my best not to get sideways, which at times was definitely pretty hard. I thought I was taking care of my right rear, but anytime I think it was like around lap 20 or so in each run, they just slowly pulled away, and sometimes I was able to somewhat keep up with them. I tried going in deeper in the corner to use more right front and save my right rear, and that was helping a little bit. I think the wind changed, and I think going back to how I was driving before actually benefited me.
Yeah, I tell you what, so we had a caution on or around lap number 25, and that kind of opened up the window for maybe some fun fuel strategy to come in. We weren't sure if drivers are going to run it long, we're going to run it short. You elected to run it a little bit longer than your counterparts out here tonight. And you were starting to close in, but then we get those late race yellows, and now you got to be thinking you're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I chose going one of the longest during that green flag run because I knew if I pitted, even a lap before them, at best I would come out right ahead of them. But they were a little faster for me on longer runs, and they would have a little bit fresher tires. And even though P3, if it was even a guaranteed top 3, if I would have pitted with them. Now, podium would be nice, but at this stage, I rarely contend for wins, so I was just going for, hopefully the luck is on my side.
Yeah, absolutely. Competitive race out here tonight, Larry, and a good showing for that 67 who led some laps out here tonight. Larry, we're going to open up the floor for you. Anybody you want to thank or say hello to back home, watching you come home with a podium finish out here tonight? The floor is all yours, my friend.
Definitely my teammates this race, Ryan Kelly, Chris Stitz, and Joshua Sawyer. And a big shout out to you guys as always. I enjoy watching your broadcasts, and I forget what track it's next week, but I look forward to whatever that is.
Well, we're going to be off next week here from the Trinity Racing League, but next time we're on track, it'll be at Texas.
All right, that's a decent track for me.
All right, well, better for you than for me. Texas and I don't get along, but good run out here tonight, Larry, and hopefully we get to talk to you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that's going to bring us to our second place finisher out here tonight. That's going to be last week's race winner, Brandon Gass. Brandon, Tom, and Chris up here. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good. I can't believe I finished second out of that.
I tell you what, I wasn't sure exactly what was happening with anybody there in the closing laps because we saw incredible battles, 3 wide, maybe even 4 wide at times. You had a pretty good shot there on the white flag lap, but it slipped away into turn 3.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of nowhere the whole race, and me and Nolan were teammates, so we're in the same VC. Both of us were kind of nowhere, just kind of that 8th to 10th range the whole race. But that last run, after we had pitted for tires under green, that last run, we were really like running them down, and then we got that caution. I took 2 tires on that caution with 10 to go, and that worked. I was just ripping the fence. I just didn't, on that last lap there, I did not have the grip. I finally ran out of grip on the 2 tires. 4 tires got me, but I still, second place is way better than I was running the whole race, so I will take that.
Yeah, absolutely. Driver started 11th out here tonight. Last week's winner at the Red Bull Ring, the first road course of the season. It did look like 2 tires was going to be an option there, but like you said, just ran out of good on the Goodyear in the closing laps. Maybe 1 less set of corners and it would have been a different result. But Brandon, congratulations on a podium finish out here tonight. Gonna open up the floor. Anybody want to say hays and highs to back home?
Shout out my parents for watching, and shout out Nolan for winning the race. I can't believe it. That was a great battle. Shout out to him.
All right, congratulations once again, Brandon, on another podium finish here. 2 weeks in a row, and that's going to bring us to our winner out here tonight. Mr. Where did he come from? Nolan Hicks finds his way to victory lane on the last lap there. Good evening, Nolan.
Hey, thank you.
I tell you what, I don't know how it felt down in the car. I can tell you how it felt up in the booth, but how did it feel down in the car, seeing the opportunity with some room to work behind you, because you had some room between you and Ollie directly behind you, and then you were closing the gap on Brandon there directly in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, like those last 20, 15 laps, like when we were all having like these green, these shootouts, I kind of noticed that like the top lane came in and it was just like heart racing, like everybody's like squeezing you up against the wall, like the adrenaline's pumping, you got guys door banging for the lead. And that's when I like kind of realized, I was like, dang, I actually have a shot to win this. When whole race before, I was, like you said, I was in no man's land. I hadn't not figured out the long run at all, but just glad it came out to a shootout like this for me to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's kind of talk about that here, Nolan. So just how difficult was it for you to make the passes? Ultimately, you get the race win out here tonight, but it wasn't until lap 100 that we saw you lead some laps. Just how difficult was it for you to go from 7th to the race lead? It looked pretty intense out there tonight.
Yeah, it was hard because it felt like there was only like 1 or 2 good lines, and then it felt like the tire differential, if you were saving your stuff, it felt like it wouldn't really come in until like after 20 laps. And that's where like you kind of noticed like everybody would start to like accordion back to each other, but it just felt like so demoralizing to like not be able to catch the guy in front of you and then not be able to pull away from the guy behind you. And I don't know, it was definitely one of these like frustrating like tracks to drive. I definitely don't like Michigan. This is probably one of my like least favorite ovals. So for me to get a win on this is actually pretty rewarding.
Yeah, and then we go into the final restart there, and if memory serves me correctly, you started 4th on the outside line there, and you had an opportunity to take the win, and take the win you were able to do. Nolan, you're going to make us 5 for 5 on race winners out here this season. How do you feel about your chances in Texas in 2 weeks?
I feel good. I do like Texas. I think that's one of my better ovals, so I feel good heading into next week. And yeah.
All right, Nolan, congratulations on the win out here tonight. Before we let you go and celebrate with the team, the floor is open. Anybody you want to say hello to back home watching you take the checker flag?
Yeah, just shout out my girlfriend for letting me do this league. I know she gets tired of me running late nights doing this. Shout out to my family for always supporting me. And shout out to all these guys like Clean Racing, especially my teammates like Brandon. And I know Noah didn't have a good race, but shout out to Brandon for helping communicate and racing me clean for that race win. I really appreciate that. And yeah.
Gotta love some tight and clean racing. And Nolan, the big winner out here tonight, once again from Michigan. And Chris, that gives us 100 laps of racing. Some incidents on the track, but at the end of the night, it is Nolan Hicks as the race winner. What a race we just experienced.
Yeah, what a race we did experience. That was probably one of the tightest races I've seen here at Michigan in a long time. So I'm glad that you're able to invite me up here for this broadcast here and watch this and commentate with you.
Absolutely. As fans begin to make their way out of the stands, Nolan Hicks done with his victory donuts out here tonight. The top 10 going to be Nolan Hicks, Brandon Gass, Larry Yingling, the top 3 that we just spoke to earlier a moment ago. Clint Cox going to be good enough for 4th out here tonight. Ali Fonseca rounds out a top 5. Jarrett Talmadge, after leading the most laps in tonight's race, has to settle for 6th place out here tonight. Jesse Thornock, the big mover of tonight's race after being involved on a lap 1 incident, finishes 7th. Cody Reed is good enough for 8th. Chris Stamper is 9th. And Christopher Norris in the 38 is 10th. 11th place going to belong to Ryan Bird. Sam Garcia rounds out the field in 12th. Aaron Krolick in the 0-1 finishes 13th, with Justin Campbell in 14th directly behind him. Josh Kanata didn't give us a Josh cam out here tonight, but rounds out a top 15 for Mr. Kanata. Ryan Kelly in the 13 finishes 16th, with Dakota Moniz in 17th. Josh Stovall in 18th. Big incident in the closing laps for the 1 was in contention for the race win. Finishes 18th out here tonight. Chris Stitz in the 17 finishes 19th, and 20th belongs to Scott Rickard.
We got 21st going to Isaac Shelley. We got Stephen Clapp in 22nd, Noah Steele in 23rd, Cedric Hunter in 24th in the Hello Kitty machine, Thomas Green, unfortunately, in 25th in that 3 after he had some problems, Mark Labertone in the 26th, Thomas Walter in 27th. We got Ben Kinn in 28th, Mike Miller in 29th, and Josh Sawyer in 30th.
Our field of 33 is rounded out in 31st place by Nick Renner in that 88, involved in an incident on lap number 25. Justin Smith involved on a lap 1 incident. Good enough for 32nd out here tonight. And Sam Dyer in the 35 finishes 33rd place out here tonight in a 33-car field. Well, Chris, we make our way out of Michigan, and well, we're going to be off next week. Catch all the action live on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network in 2 weeks' time at Texas Motor Speedway. Chris, thanks so much for hanging out with me on a Monday night. So glad that you were able to do this.
Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate you bringing it up here. It was my first time doing all this. It was honestly a lot of fun. I got way more comfortable with it towards the end, but I appreciate that.
Well, glad you're able to join us. Thanks so much to everybody hanging out in our YouTube chat. Hey, again, if you enjoyed tonight's show, click that like button, get subscribed, get notified, follow all the action from the Trinity Racing League on Monday nights, and we'll see you guys all in 2 weeks' time. Nolan Hicks, the big winner, out here tonight at Michigan.